Hello everyone, welcome to Whisper of the Wind. Today we are going to go through a topic, how to increase your character's power, part 2. So for character power, as you know from my previous video, or if you have not watched it, you can go back to watch. Okay, I covered the equipment. So now I'm going to cover the next thing, which is the Mythic Art. So basically, what's the Mythic Art? Okay, in this game, other than using your normal skill set, your weapon skill, you also have the chance to use your Mythic Art. Okay, you can equip up to 8 Mythic Arts. So every Mythic Art will have a level. Okay, and some of the utility Mythic Art might not be able to level up. So you are going to need certain thing to level up. So what's the thing you are going to need? Let me go through with you. First of all, as you can see, if I do a reset, do take note you can reset this Mythic Art every season. Okay, and after that, I believe after one time, the next time you will need Jade coin to reset. So all the Mythic Art require this thing. So basically all this come from harvesting. So for instance, this feather over here, you will need to harvest a material, and there will be chance that it will drop. Okay, so how do I harvest it? You just go here. Okay, Mythic Arts. If I need this material, I click here, it will tell me that this is the plant I need, and there will be chances that it will drop this. Okay, so every single Mythic Art have some special material you need to gather. Okay, for example, this is the feather. This skill is still the feather. Okay, let me see the next one. Okay, this skill need a flower. Okay, so how do you get this flower other than harvesting? You can also get from these boxes. Okay, so these boxes, where it come from? It come from event token. Okay, and it also come from your Battle Pass shop. Okay, every week you can buy 3 from Battle Pass shop. Okay, you can see there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different materials. Okay, for Mythic Art, and you can also get from your weekly shop over here. You can get 10 a week. Okay, each time you open is 3. So 10 times 3, you get 30 from Mythic from the weekly shop. So this material is used for levels breakthrough, meaning so every skill set will have 6 level. So sorry, not 6 level, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 level. So for this, I have level up it 9 times for 6 times, meaning every 9 level, when you reach level 10, you will be 1 here. When you reach level 10 again, it will be 2. When you reach level 10 again, you break through, it will be 3. Okay, so on and so forth. So when you do the breakthrough, it will require that material I showed just now. Okay, so other than this, every level you will also need this material. Okay, so this stone, what is how you get it? Basically very straightforward. You get it by challenging all these points. You notice, you see this icon over here, this red color. When you go there, you can challenge a area. You kill every monster there, a boss will spawn. You kill the boss, then you can use your energy to open up to get a stone. Okay, another way you can do is multiplayer. You come over here. Okay, last week we covered dungeons. You can get gear. So over here, this also randomly pair you with other player, and you can clear the area. And if you kill all the monster, a boss will spawn. You kill the boss, you get this stone. Okay, it requires 20 energy for 30 stone. So like what I say, once you level up your mythic level to max level, you don't need to do this, because this actually give lesser armor piece, and you can't choose the armor piece you want. Okay, so mainly people grind this for this stone. Okay, next I will go through with you one by one with all the skill and what situation you should use it. First of all, the famous Tai Chi. This is mainly for solving puzzle and throwing the NPC you don't like into the sea. Okay, so for PvE and PvP, I will say PvE maybe for monster that you use a shield, is useful to throw the enemy so that you break the shield. Okay, other than that, not much use. Next, this skill. So for this skill, right, is very important for PvP player, especially 1v1 player. So why is it? Because you can actually chase the enemy. So what do I mean? You see, when you do this, you go to enemy and do one hit. So in PvP 1v1, your enemy tend to run away when you hit them, and you can execute them. So what high level PvP player do? They press 1 and immediately go there execute them. Okay, so it's a gap closer for them, a very useful gap closer. Next, this skill basically useless for PvP, but for PvE you can actually snatch some of the boss equipment and throw at them, but it's useless for multiplayer PvE. Okay, and you can also steal some MP. If you like role playing, you can steal things from walking NPC. Okay, for this is another gap closer, which is very useful for PvE and PvP. Okay, so this skill actually works well with another skill, which I will cover later. For this is a purely RPG skill which string you. This happened during Chinese New Year, where there are some quests that require you to shrink down and go take some items. This skill, I will say the damage is not very good. People use it for maybe guild war. Okay, this most mainly used for PvP. Okay, because there is a toxic, and it will sort of let an enemy stun in mid-air, I think. Sorry, I don't do much PvP, but I do remember taking in this poison during PvP and falling down when the poison damage taken. Okay, other than that, guild war for sure, because it's a AoE damage. This skill, okay, I will say not much use unless you're an RPG player. This skill, this actually have two effects. So one of the effect is when the higher you get, the more damage you do. So what do I mean by that? So like what I said just now, this gap closer, the first gap closer, synchronize well with this skill. So one of the combo many people did for guild wars or what is that they use these two skill together. So basically when you jump over there and you link with this, okay, and you do a high damage AoE. Okay, if without using the jump, you just press it, it will just do this hit, okay, with a pump on the floor. So mainly people use this skill to link with first skill. Okay, and it must be fast. You see, I miss it, so try again. Like this. Okay, and do note, the higher you are, the more damage you do. Okay, but you can't do a multi jump and press the skill. it doesn't work. It need to be a skill that bring you to the air, and you need to use it after that. Okay. Next, another skill for Guild War. You can use this to run all over the place and hit the enemy. It's useful for Guild War. Okay, this skill over here is a skill unlocked after the expansion, which is very very important. I will say once this skill out in the global server, level it to max as soon as possible. Why? Because it do very high damage and it do a very big AoE. So how it and you also have a special effect. Okay, let me play. So when you use the skill, you notice you're locked from all the skill until for a while. Okay, like 2-3 seconds. So basically after that, you see it keep damaging the enemy until the song ends. So this skill, right, first, the funny part, you can actually put any song you want. Okay, as long as it's 14 seconds, I believe. And you can use the song people put. Okay, and this song everyone in your party will hear it unless they turn it off. Okay, but it's very good skill, and many people when they do opening, they just use this skill and press the E button to cancel the animation. So you see, when I press this skill, I press E, I cancel animation, I can start attacking. Okay. Next, this skill, Eagle Claw, is very useful for breaking parries, mainly for player that do 1v1 PvP. Okay, but for boss fight or PvE is totally useless. This skill also for 1v1 PvP, it break parry and you knock an enemy up flying, but the damage is lower than this skill. So in PvP, I mainly see people using this Eagle Claw instead of this. Okay, next, this skill is a very good high damage multi-hit combo, and if you are 1v1 player, you actually want to use this skill to CC your enemy. Okay, it do a many hit combo and it's quite high damage. This skill is similar to this skill. If you watch Jin Yong, those wuxia story, you should know this is a skill from Beggar Sack. Okay, the dog beating stuff. Basically, this allow you to knock your enemy down and do a multi-hit combo. Okay, and for certain type of boss, like mounted boss, this skill do more damage. Okay, next is another most important skill. I will recommend you to level ASAP. Why? Because it do the most damage for a skill with the less T. So let me show you how the skill look like. Basically, it give you a charge and a pop back. Okay, you can see the damage is pretty high. So during the charge, right, you actually it's actually a evade window, so you can do a perfect dodge with this. Okay, so it's also very fast animation, high damage. It's very good to weave in between your skill set. Let's say I do this skill, then I do this skill, then I do this skill again, then I do this skill, then I got no skill, I just weave in one this, and I can continue with my skill. Okay, very useful. You should level it ASAP, this skill. Okay, the next two skill actually synchronize together. Okay, first is the Breath of Fire, and second is the Drunken Feast. Okay, so why is it synchronizing? Because if you use Breath of Fire, the enemy have a burn effect, and every Drunken Feast you hit, the burn effect will stack up. You can see this stack over here. and every second they will take in more and more damage. Okay, in fact, in the early stage of the game, this is one of the most OP skill. So during the early game, I don't know if US global server will release with this. When people cast this, right, they start all the fight with this, and everyone start using Drunken, and the boss HP drop very fast. But after that, they realize it's too OP, they nerf it. Okay, so why is it OP? First of all, when you breathe the fire, you are in super armor form. Okay, and when you use Drunken Fist, you are also in super armor form. So for now, people still use it in PvE. So when you are going to take a huge damage from boss, you use this and you take in lesser damage. Okay, so other than that, people also use it for PvP 1v1. So you breathe the fire and you just use Drunken Fist and hit the enemy, and the enemy can't do anything because they will be hitting your super armor. Okay, next skill over here. This skill is mainly for tank, I think, because first of all, it heals yourself by damaging the enemy. Second, you have a very long period of super armor. So, and third, it deal quite a lot of damage. But the bad thing is it drain all your chi. So let me show you. It do a very nice animation. Okay, in fact, this is a red armor, so you are immune to everything. And you notice I got heal 40,000, and it do 50,000 damage, but it empty out my chi and have very long cooldown. This is mainly a tank skill, so you can level it if you want. Okay, next skill. All these are mainly support skill. This skill actually blind the enemy and you can assassinate them, more for RPG player. Okay, this skill is very important for PvP because it give you it break you out of all the CC. So try to level this max. Next, this skill is also very important for PvE, PvP, every content, because it gives you a shield. And another thing is that if you use it during max chi, right, every single one of your party get a shield. So it's very good for healer also. So healer, please get this. Next, this skill not very useful. It's mainly you can dodge more time with this. Okay, next skill. This is the core skill for solo boss fight player. So what does it do? It slow down times. When a goose will come out and it slow down time, and you will go into a bullet time situation with the boss. So those that are aiming for 0 damage for fighting boss, you must level out this. This is very important. But I believe it didn't release during early stage of the game. It released a few months after the China server release. Next, this is basically a skill that make you brighter for dungeon and for dungeon that are very dark. This skill allow you to go invis for PvE, mainly those RPG player. Okay, this skill is very funny. So what happened is that during April Fool Day, they actually have a notification saying that there will be an upcoming mythic skill, which when you knee down, all the boss surrender to you and die immediately. So everyone thought it's a joke. But after April Fool, right, during Labor Day, they actually come up with an event that say all the boss is resting. So unless there is an option to turn the boss up for fight, but when you go into the dungeon, all the boss will just put a message say they are having a break due for Labor Day. They are not working. Then this skill come in. You knee on the boss die immediately and give you all the reward. Because they say in Chinese there is this thing called 男儿膝下有黄金, means every man their knee is very precious. You don't anyhow knee on people. So when you knee, the boss die. Okay, so After the event, it still has some effect. 25% chance you immediately clear the single person solo boss. Okay, but there are certain boss that you can't knee. Okay, for example, if you don't need to authority, you don't need to your inner demon, and you don't need to your mortal enemy, which kill your friends and family. Okay, for this I will not explain what boss because you eventually it will spoil you for the game. Next, this skill is for Valentine Day, recently released. Basically, you just hug and spin. I'm not sure what is it for. Next, this skill is for couple, marriage couple. When they level to certain level, they can use this skill. And finally, this skill is for disciple and master. Okay, so you just do the spin. I'm also not sure what is it for. Okay, so I've covered all the mythic skill, and I hope it helped you a bit. Okay, other than that, there are mainly just some skill like assassination skill and um, those dodge skill, nothing much. Okay, so I hope you enjoy my video and know what you are going to go for. Okay, see you for the next video. If you think my video helped you a lot, please like, subscribe. It will help me a lot. Thank you very much. Bye.